Hello guys, Death88 back with more OpenTTD. Now in the last time that I played OpenTTD, we did the temperate climate, which is not really have any restrictions on it. This time around we're going to go to the snow biome because I think it's a little bit more interesting. Now what I did is I also went into advanced settings and made it a little bit harder, primarily in economy. So I turned inflation on. I think I had it off, but I think there was less of inflation. If I had it on, it was less of inflation last time. And I bumped the interest rate all the way up. I minimized the loan to the maximum of 100,000, so that's going to be pretty hard to start off with, but subsidies do get us quite a bit of money. I also did turn on recessions because that makes the game harder, because over a recession can sometimes make or break a company. And I also turned on the smooth economy because if you do recessions without the smooth economy, you will break lots of stuff. I also did turn the running cost and construction cost up to medium, and I believe I kept disasters off because whenever I have played with disasters, it's just like I can't get anything done with airplanes because they die a lot. So I guess at the level of difficulty we're going to be doing this at, I guess we'll call this Let's Play When Hell Freezes Over. I don't know, I didn't really have an idea for it. We're just going to go ahead and play. Now the one notable thing to notice about this is I set it to hilly and I set the snow line to 2, so most of the towns are going to be within snow, which means most of them aren't going to be able to expand. The other noteworthy thing is right now, until 1945, we have no trains at all, and also there are no electric trains, so it jumps right from like diesel to monorail. So to start, for the first 10 years or so, we're going to have to go with road vehicles. Our choices are pretty much road vehicles or waterways. And road vehicles are going to make us a little bit more. So the main thing is going to be figuring out an industry. Now what I normally think would be the best thing to do is like a wood industry, because wood is one industry they have. Banks are another one, but banks are sort of long term because you can't make all your money off a bank. Food would be another one, and then I think coal is the only other one, if I remember correctly. Yes, there's coal industry. But coal, oh, that and oil. But coal is not really profitable, at least in my eyes, unless you have trains. So I think we're going to start off with, that seems like a small, that doesn't seem too bad. So it's just sort of picking out an area. So we're just sort of looking around right now. I just want somewhere, because trees right here would work. The only thing is we don't have paper. Well, we do have paper industry. So let's go ahead and start here, because why not? And let's see, we're yellow this time, but I'll change that here soon. I just want to get a basic industry set up first, just so we can get some stuff transporting. Actually, how do I want to do this? I'll put this on the other side. Seem to put a lot of stations in there. And we'll build one there and there, and we'll get rid of these two for right now. Because what I'm going to do is I'm going to focus on this industry first, and then I'm going to transport the wood here to the paper mill, because this makes paper. And essentially what that does is those guys, you take wood, raw wood, into paper, and then paper into goods, and then goods can be transported to cities. So we have 1, 2, 3 different cities here. So it's not too bad. And let's see what we can do. The other thing is going to be the terrain a little bit, because I did make it hilly just to sort of challenge myself. So we have a lot of hills to deal with. Right now we don't really have too much money to deal with hills at all, so we're not going to really worry about it. As you can see, we're already down to $63,000. So it's going to be a flatbed truck. Nope. I want to sell you, because we need you properly fitted to wood, and then I'll have you guys go from here to here. Where we were initially when we loaded in the map was okay. What are you? You're at 78, so we can probably do 6 there. We don't really have enough for another industry. But what I did over there is the only thing is everything seemed pretty close in the area was somewhere. Yeah, like this right here seems close. And it'd be a bit of a haul to run road vehicles from here to here, and then from here to here wouldn't really make us much money, so our next best bet would probably be over here somewhere. And that's just a long drive for a lot of road vehicles, which is something I'm going to try not to do. Because road vehicles, they are another good, as with any transported good, they're based on time. So in essence, the shorter amount of time that we can have vehicles waiting, the better. Alright, let's see how long. Okay, we're going to want to add more of these on right away. So if we go ahead and take a look, we're going to make it run a little fast. One of these fills up about 1 1/3 vehicles. And while costs are low, we're going to build 10 of them. The other thing too is we're going to go into here and we're going to change the company. Of course, we always have to change it to my name, or at least my gamer tag. And we have to choose red again because everyone knows that the color red makes everything faster. Alright, so let's see how well we can get goods transported. We'll probably want to equal that out at some point, but it's on farmland, so we sort of don't have the money right now. And they have lots of vehicles headed out with goods, or lots of vehicles headed out with wood. So it looks like we'll be able to balance out the industry decently well right now. They make $500, so if we run it ahead until about 1936, we should be making a profit, hopefully. That's sort of the goal, because we're already up to $4,000, and we got to pay that back as quick as possible. Although the good news with having this lower loan is our company value is going to go up quicker. I guess that's the good news. Although we have lots of interest costs. And we're only about halfway through the year, and they've already charged us a lot of interest as compared to the last game. I know it's not that much to notice, but they have wood waiting, so that's good. And the other thing is anything above 2 will get covered in snow when it comes into the later months, because as you can see right now, there's not really any snow. But if we get into these guys, they don't have food, so food is required in the winter. So the town isn't growing right now, or at least the town doesn't grow outside the winter. I don't know if these guys are the same over here. Okay, they're not the same. I was hoping in this town, okay, they don't need food. And these guys don't need food. And you can fund new industries in this game. So like for instance, if I wanted to put down a forest somewhere, I can do that. But as of right now, we don't really have any spare money to do anything with. So it's just sort of a matter of making money with road vehicles. So I'm going to run this a little fast for a little bit, just because watching road vehicles go back and forth is really not worth anything. Because I think our next goal is going to be running from here to here, and then we'll probably... Food industry wouldn't be bad to get into. The only issue is we don't really have any food-based factories out this way. Yeah, because now you can see it's winter, or at least it's getting into December, so like there's snow up here and everything, which is another cool effect they added to the game. So we could pay back the loan, which doesn't seem like a bad idea. Are we running behind on these guys at all? We're running a little bit behind, so it probably wouldn't be a bad idea to get a couple more road vehicles. So we'll let those go. And we're still running at a profit right now. We just have a few more road vehicles just to help out with transport. And it looks like we'll probably need even more, because we can't keep up with transport. That's the other bad thing with road vehicles, is you need a lot of them to make a decent dent in transport normally. Although they seem to have gotten caught up now. So that's good. Yeah, these guys are probably going to start increasing output here because we're able to transport real well. If we look at ratings, I think anything above 60, they start adding on to your industry, anything that's good or better. And we have this at very good, so they're supplying roughly about 98 a month. So that's quite a few truckloads in a month. But we're running at an okay amount right now because we have $11,000. We're actually at negative 88 or 87,000, so we're doing okay right now. But I think for right now I'm going to pay back the loan because it's a little bit more money we'll get. And as you can see, our value of the company went up. It went up pretty quickly compared to the first game. And that's just because we have less loan to pay off. Now I think we have, if I remember correctly, it's 1945 until we get trains. So everything we do now is going to be all road vehicle based. So we're going to have a big basis of road vehicles, hopefully, before we get to 1945. Alright, and we have about 21,000. So we're going to pay that off. And I'm going to wait until I get about $40,000 paid off, because then we're going to get all that money back and we're going to transport out to this factory, out to the printing works. And we're not doing too bad this year because we're still making money after buying vehicles, so that helps. But as of right now, because of inflation, vehicles are going up. I think this vehicle, yeah, it cost $5,000 at the beginning, and we're only about 2 years in and it's already at $6,000. So inflation is going to be pretty rampant. So if we zoom in here a little bit, we should see the road vehicles go by a little bit faster. And we'll probably wait until 1938 just to get a basic amount of money built up just to get other goods transporting, because the faster we can increase this, the better off we're going to be. Because if we get hit by a recession right now, we have a decent chance of surviving, but it's not really guaranteed, because take that number and cut it in half, take the previous year's number, and that all combined without the road vehicles is roughly, it just barely equals out. Alright, so now we're going to borrow everything, and we're going to set up a different factory, or we're going to set up a different truck station. Now this is one thing that I picked up when watching other videos, is that you build separate stations. So like this is input, this is output. So instead of having input and output all in the same, all within like the same stations, you have it within certain ones. And that just seems to be a more efficient way to go about things. And I'll bring you here. A little bit more of a transport we got to work around, but that's okay. And we could probably start including buses in this city too, if we felt like it. But as of right now, I'm more worried about just making money. And I still use the flatbed trucks because they're still good for paper. And we're going to need a lot of these eventually to keep up, just because we're going to run into lots of issues. Yeah, so we'll go with 5 for right now. So we should probably see our company value dip a little bit next time around, because we just spent a ton of money. Alright, so they're going to take output there, and paper's only going to accumulate here. So let's see if that dips at all. It may or may not, but see how we're struggling to keep up there? Oh no, it just went back up, so that's okay. Alright, we don't really have money to pay back anything at all right now. Running behind on paper, but that's a good thing. And we're running a little behind on wood, but that's okay too. Now what we should do is, since we have enough money, we're actually going to go into the depot here, and we're going to clone another one of these. So now we have 18 road vehicles. hopefully we're going to need more road vehicles, of course. But how much do you guys make in a transport? You make about 300, so that's okay. Normally, I think 1,000 is about what I've maxed it out, but I think that's normally when I put it on the easier settings. Alright, so we got about another 6,000. So we're going to build another road vehicle. Now we sort of have to build road vehicles ahead to keep up with the amount of supplies we have going. Alright, let's see. We should make more money this year. That's the good news. Alright. They're managing to keep up with that somewhat decently. Just for safety, I'm going to throw another road vehicle in here. Just in case. Because they seem to off and on be able to keep up with it. And we're also going to throw in another truck station on both ends. There we go. Running a little short on money, but that's okay. Alright, so we have $23 left. Now we're in the red finally. But due to our company value, we're not running at negative. And hopefully we'll be able to work. We should, if anything, if this year is anything like last year, we should be able to work our way out of that debt. Alright. So we're already making more money than we did last year, and I assume that's going to help us. We're probably getting help because of the wood station here, or the paper mill there. So that's not bad. Pay off a little bit of loan. Because the next major thing we're going to want to do is connect these guys into here. Unless there's another one of those around here. Nope, doesn't look like it. Not another lumber mill. So we're not going to make quite as much money because there's a little bit more distance here than there is here. But it's still going to help us by increasing the amount of trucks we can run along here. And yet again, we're going to wait until we have about 30,000 or 40,000 paid off on the loan before we do anything again. These guys, they're at least getting caught up now. That's going to balance back the other way very soon, but yeah, because you make a lot of wood. Alright, there we go. Alright, so we've already made $15,000 this year. Getting that loan paid off is helping a lot. Because you can see that's when we had like 30,000 or so paid off. And it did reduce our interest quite a bit. Alright, so now that we have that much, we're going to go ahead and borrow everything, and then we're going to connect these other guys that we're going to probably want to add in another station. Wouldn't be a bad idea. The only bad part is we're building all of this on farmland. Alright, there we go. Bring you up here. Bring that guy out here. We'll want to get rid of that little bump in the road. Not as important, but we'll only be able to buy, it looks like, 2, if not 3 road vehicles, unfortunately. But that'll work. So by default, it looks like they transport wood. So fully load. And we're going to make as many of those. We can only make 2, it looks like. So we're going to have those guys go. And they're not quite going to be able to keep up with demand, unfortunately. Alright, now we're going to go clone vehicle, clone one of those, and go. We shouldn't need as many out here, hopefully. And we'll let everything keep increasing here because that's the only way we can really buy vehicles. As you can see, vehicles are about 7,000 now, it looks like. Yeah, they're a little over 7,000. So in a matter of 10 or 5 years, they've gone up $2,000 in price. So doing rough math, that's about 20% inflation, roughly. So that's pretty big, at least in this game. And I mean, not like now it's not too noticeable because $2,000 is $2,000, but if you added a couple zeros on there, when we have like a train network, it's going to become noticeable. Alright, they are nowhere near able to keep up with that, nor are these guys able to keep up here. So we're going to go clone you again. Actually, you're able to keep up, so we're going to sell you, get rid of all that, and we're going to keep cloning these guys. And we should see profits at least go up. Alright, there we go. I think I only have like 4 or 5 vehicles running that route, so that should help us. Which means we need to add like 4 or 5 vehicles on this route because we have 164 tons of paper just waiting there. Now the one thing to note too, if we go into ratings, our ratings are okay. That's just because we have tons of vehicles coming through here. I don't know why it's still going up, but essentially supply is going to be based on what they get on the other side here. So we don't really have to worry about supply changing that much. Alright, we're just going to run it a little bit longer. We're going to add 1 more vehicle on. Got tons of road vehicles going on this route, it looks like. Alright, we got a little transport network going on. So they seem to be increasing a little bit, looks like. At least that was the tail end of it. So I guess I'm going to end the episode here. As always, guys, please go ahead, like, comment, subscribe below. If you have any ideas for games you want me to play, go ahead and leave those below too. I'm probably going to be starting another series here in the next couple of weeks. I'm sort of trying to work with another YouTuber right now. We're trying to work out schedules and games to play, that kind of stuff. We might be doing something, I'm not sure. So I'm just seeing how that rolls out, but I'm going to do another series of OpenTTD in the meantime. I'll probably do a couple more beyond this, I'm not sure, because everyone seemed to like OpenTTD. But as always, thank you for watching, and I will see you guys in the next episode.